I just want to record a small video tutorial outlining how you may set up a template. You can kind of take this in many different directions, and I'll just walk you through the basic process, and then in After Effects I'll show you what some of the possibilities are once you've created your template. So first things first, let's have a look at our building here. Here is a building. It's one that I've shown you in class before. At least my VFX guys have seen it. I've got the original photograph open here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to option drag that original file, that layer, and drag it up to just in the middle there. Make a copy of it and call it working. And so the first thing, I'm just going to turn this off because I don't need it anymore. The first thing that we need to do is straighten out the building. So that's actually, I'll just maybe pop that in there. That's actually fairly easy. I'll take the rulers. So go Command R or View rulers, and then just drag out some guides for yourself. Now I've already got some going, you can see that. I've already done this process, so mine are just shown, and you can hide or show your guides by Command colon. There they are there. So you can see I've got a few guides, and you can see that the building down the bottom here is a bit skew and the vertical lines aren't quite vertical. So let's go ahead and fix that. And the way to do that is to go Command T, and the thing about this particular part of the job is, Command T, let me just go escape, sorry. The thing about this part of the job is that you need to kind of just do it once. You don't want to go, you don't want to say, you don't want to go Command T and then you go, oh, it's not quite right, and then rasterize it and then go Command T again and fix it up again, because each time you do that, you're re-rasterizing your file. So you kind of want to try and get it done in one hit. So here I am. So, and again, this is where the importance of trying to get that quite square on image becomes, makes your life much easier. So you can see that with mine, I've got very minimal work that I need to do to fit my building into these guides. So something like that. And the aim of the game is to get the line straight so that it's just easier for you to work with in Photoshop or in After Effects or in Maya or wherever it may be. So that's the first thing. We're going to straighten out the building. And I think, to me, that's looking pretty good. The next thing we would try and do is, sorry, let's just check the image size. The next thing we would try and do is zoom in and sort of have a look at the building and identify which parts of this building you're going to produce layer masks for. Now, layer masks cover the areas of the building with discrete paths that we can then use to create layer masks that we can then map video and video data into. So it's a very simple process. We take the pen tool. So I'm going to go here, and this is it's a very simple process, and it works very well. And you can see that I've already done this process actually, because I've already produced the template for this particular building. But I'll go through the process again. Add a new path, name the path. So I'm going to call it T1. I'm going to call it _1 because I've already got a T1. But you'd say T1. So I'm going to say top left, all right? And I'm going to zoom into my top left, and I'm going to start creating some points. I'm going to get rid of my guides because I don't want them. I think up to here, up here, and up there. Okay, so now I've got some points. Did I close that off? I think I did. I'll now go, you can do one of two things. You can use this little button here to convert the path as a selection, so load path as selection, or you can command click the path thumbnail. And then I go to my layers. Let's find my layers. Where are they? Let me move this out of the way. Find my layers. So I'm going to go command shift N or layer, new layer. And I'm going to call it T1 underscore 1. I like to keep the names of the layers exactly the same as the name of the the path. So we'll go OK to that. And then down the bottom here in the paths in the layers palette, there's a little icon that allows you to add a layer mask, and it'll do it with the selection that you've currently got. So if I add a layer mask, and I go, let me just zoom out here so we can see what's going on. Let's just go into here. And if I just option click this layer mask, you'll see that it's actually got a little white rectangle that I've masked out. And if I fill this layer now with a color like this, it'll go yellow in there, and that's that little section done. I've got that layer done. So I can move on to the next one. So I'll do one more, and then I think you'll have gotten the idea of what it is you're trying to achieve. So I'll do this thing here, and I'll actually just do it in one path. So I'm going to go new path. I'm going to call it a name, T2 underscore 1. I'm only doing that because I've got T1 and T2 already up here. It won't let me have the same name. I'm going to grab my pen tool. Sorry, it's my pen tool. And I'm going to click to make points. So I typically like to use my... Now the thing here is when you're making paths that are next to each other, and this is why I go through and create those layers straight away, because then I can visually see where the path is. And what I like to do is have a little bit of overlap, because you don't want to have visual gaps in your image when you're working. So I just have a little bit of overlap there, and then go command click on the thumbnail, go command shift N, call it T2 underscore 1, go OK. See, I've got a file naming convention going on now. Click this to make a layer mask. You can option click it just to check that you got the right mask. So that looks pretty good. Option click again, or just click on the thumbnail to go back to your main view. And then choose another color. So I'll choose, let me choose this lurid pink thing. Sorry. And then option delete for the foreground color. And you go on producing this template, right? You can go on producing this template all the way across until you've finished. I then typically, now you've seen the process and you see how the path name matches the layer name. I then typically, let me just open up the actual template for this thing. I'll close that off, and here's my previous working folder, and here is my masks that I made. There they all are for this building. Every building's different. I then typically like to produce a path for the windows and a mask for the whole building. So the mask for the whole building looks like that, masking out the entire building. So that way we just get this to work with. Alright, I'm going to stop that there.